Welcome to Senior Travel Adventures. And today I have a guest with me that I found through another person that mentioned her, and I thought, what a cool idea. So I decided to invite her here today. And with me is Vanessa Karel, who is the founder of a company called GreetHer. And I thought it was a great idea because they match up, and we'll learn more about this, but they match up people who travel and want to have someone that's local show them around. So thank you for joining me today, Vanessa.
Thank you so much, Debbie. So excited to have this chat with you.
Me too. So, I'm just intrigued by this. I started doing a lot of content creation for mature travelers, primarily solo female travelers over the last few years. And we're always talking about going different places. And most of us are pretty independent, but oftentimes we come across people who are nervous to take that trip and they want to have somebody, maybe they'll go on tours or maybe they'll do day tours, but you're set up a little bit different. So can you tell me a little bit about what your service would offer to this traveler?
Yes, so what we do at GreetHer is that we connect female identified travelers to verify local women who we call greeters. So that's why the name of the company is GreetHer, because our services are tailored to them and to have a greeting experience in the place you're visiting. So I like to say that it's kind of a twist on a modern concierge slash friend. In fact, our slogan is your local best friend wherever you go, because it is that definitely, when you're booking a greeter, you are connected to your greeter before your trip even begins, which establishes like a connection with them. And also you have someone local who you can ask recommendations and tips about the place you're visiting. You book them for a time slot, and then you get greeted according to what your interests are in that place.
Okay, so that was going to be one of my questions. Do you book them for an hour, a day, a week? Is it an option to do those things?
Yeah, so actually, I began GreetHer for solo female travelers after being a solo traveler myself and realizing that there wasn't a service like this that existed and really needed in one. And I decided to build it because I really wanted to continue exploring destinations that sometimes, I wasn't as comfortable visiting, or also just kept hearing my friends or people in my family like, I don't travel because I'm scared, or I don't travel because I don't know how to do it. And I was just like, I think that it's so valuable for women to solo travel that I want them to have a tool and a resource to do it and do it confidently. So through GreetHer, what you can do is that you can book women in the destination that you're traveling to for the time that you want them to guide you in person. However, one of the great things is that, as I mentioned a little bit ago, you are connected to her regardless of the length of time that you decide to book her. The pricing varies according to the destination and the number of travelers and the number of hours. So I mentioned, initially I thought Greek was going to be solely for solo female travelers, but quickly we started getting asks from people like, hey, can I use it with my daughter? I'm traveling with my sister, I'm traveling with my best friend, or I'm doing a girls trip. Can we use GreetHer? And so we were like, why not? And so now you currently can book up to 6 travelers at once directly on
Oh,
GreetHer. uh, However, I would say the majority of our travelers, I would say maybe around 70% or more, are solo female travelers. And it's really exciting to be here today for your show, because a lot of our travelers are senior, mature travelers themselves. And that's been really exciting to find that there is this sector of travelers who sometimes feel that they've been ignored by other services, but we are noticing that they are here to travel and become really great adventurers, and they're not doing lazy travel, they're doing cool travel experiences. And
yeah.
it's really great to see that through GreetHer they're able to feel more confident, and that they are able to feel more connected to the local culture of the places they're visiting, and empower women, as well.
So when you find someone in a local area, I'm assuming you're going to put them through some type of a background check, vetting process, that type of thing, right?
Yes, actually, in fact, we verify our travelers as well, and as much as we verify our greeters.
Oh,
However, as our greeters, you're providing the service, so they have to go through an onboarding process with us. They have to do like an interview, and they have to make sure that we get them through an onboarding process so that they deliver a good experience for you, and also so our services remain, consistent throughout the destinations where we are.
yeah. I can see why that would be very important. So over the past, you've done that, you started this a few years ago. Are
Yes.
you finding that there's certain areas where you have more greet her people there, or is it just sort of sporadic all over the world?
You know what? Yes and no. Actually, we do have some cities in which we have way more greeters in, but this is because we have built a bigger community in those regions, and also because we see more travelers going there. So, for
Okay.
example, Italy still remains one of the most booked countries, and like, but that said, we do have for the first time a traveler going to Cambodia next month or this month actually.
Oh,
No, we're in October. And so we do have greeters in so many places. Actually, we're in over 100 countries now, across over 1,000 cities. So that means that pretty much all the hub spots where people are traveling to, we're most likely there. And we do have a request form if someone is traveling to a region where we've never had a greeter in, if they request one with a good time in advance, we think that there's a destination where people are gonna start going to, we make sure to try to find them someone. So we do have, most of our communities are in destinations that are very visited currently, but we do
right.
have the random, we have some greeters in Mongolia, but we have
Oh,
greeters
wow.
in Iceland, so yeah, it started growing really organically, and it's just I had an idea and I was like, I don't know, like I had an idea and I knew travelers wanted this, but I was like, now let me see who wants to become a greeter. And you probably know this already because you're in the travel industry, but there is a lack of female tour guides around the world.
Oh,
And
yeah.
and
Yeah.
so this is kind of like, a way for us to enable, still these connections happening, regardless of if they are like a licensed tour guide or something, because this is kind of, midway in there. And our travelers are not necessarily just looking for someone to teach them the history of this wall or like this castle.
Right.
They want someone who will show them the best places to go eat sushi in Tokyo, the best place
Right.
to
Right.
find a great thrift store in Budapest. They want someone who really shows them the local gems. And you don't necessarily, need a license for that. You need some understanding of what a traveler may like, and also to be really knowledgeable about the city you live in.
And when again, this goes back to what intrigued me was exactly that. Like, I love to solo travel, but when I go somewhere, I've got to do a lot of research
Yeah.
to, like, where would I go? What do I want to eat? Where should I not go? Where should I stay away from in some places? And this is why this is such a great idea, because it does give you that person, like you said, it's your friend. It's like your friend in the city that's
Yes.
going to tell you, hey, go buy, if you want this, this is the place to go. Or, simply just going around with you if you just need someone to more or less hold your hand. I don't want to say it like that, but I do have people who watch the show that are much more self-sufficient than others. And so that was another thing when you were talking, it made me think about this. So, sometimes I have travelers that watch the show that may have ambulatory issues. So that would be something that perhaps would be discussed ahead of time with the person they were meeting in the location, correct?
Yes, definitely. We have travelers up to 80 years old using our services that I'm aware of, and they sometimes have mobility issues, or they just like slower pace you know. And
Mhm.
so when you're making your process of booking a greeter, you tell us as much as you like about yourself and what you're trying
Okay.
to do in that destination. So we have travelers who just want companionships as well. And that's perfect too. You know, like you really make it what you want. And I think we are all different type of travelers. And GreetHer can be for someone who's very inexperienced traveler, but for someone who's an expert traveler and still find it really useful. We've had travelers who have gone off to 50 plus countries and that have booked us for 16 times over, you know, like, and we
Okay.
had travelers consistently who they were like, I always wanted to solo travel, but then I found GreetHer and I was like, okay, now I know I can do this because I'll feel a bit more comfortable knowing that I have this service and that when I get to Paris, I'll have someone who speaks English. And well, I forgot to mention, you pick the meetup spot, which is really
Oh,
helpful because sometimes, you know, when you arrive to a place you've never been to and you don't speak the language on top of it, you're like, where do I even begin? So
right.
when you pick the meetup spot, you can say, meet me outside of my hotel or meet me at this cafe. Or in some cities, we even allow airport meetups. So you can have your greeter meet you at the airport as soon as you arrive, like a greeter would. And then
Right. With your name on a card.
almost like that,
I,
exactly.
obviously, depending on where in the world, I'm assuming that the rates would vary depending
Yes.
on the country, right?
Correct. So for example, and please don't hold me for this because you know
Right.
I don't know all the prices at the top of my head, but in average, let's say you're going to Iceland and you book a greeter in Reykjavik for 2.5 hours. That's gonna cost you probably around $95. But the same amount of
Okay.
time in Mexico City is gonna cost you maybe 75 or $80, you know. So unique economics vary according to the destination and the number of travelers. And that's why I'm like, I don't know all the numbers because like two more travelers, three more travelers, depending on the city. But it's super easy when you go to the website, you like there's a search bar and you type the city you're going to, and then it shows you the breakdown, and then you can modify the number of hours and the number of travelers, and
Okay.
it shows you
So
the
it's
price.
all there for you, right?
It's all
Okay.
there.
Well, this is great. And I'm so glad that we finally got to do this because I have been thinking about the service and thinking about some of my upcoming travels and thinking in terms of maybe this would be something good for me to try out
Well,
so that I
I
can
hope
come
you
back and
do.
say it.
Love to hear your feedback. And one thing that I think is my favorite part about GreetHer, we're obviously a business, but the most exciting part about our business is that we're generating jobs for women. So you think about it, if every time you're booking a greeter, you're not only ensuring that you're going to have a really great travel experience, but you're also benefiting and impacting the economy of local women.
I think a lot of my travelers, we look at different options, sustainability, impact on the area we're going to
Yeah.
travel to. Are we being good stewards of the environment wherever we're going and putting money back into the local economy.
And I think it's important for us as travelers, advocates to recognize that there's some regions where they need more or less tourism, you know? And I
Right.
think so if you're ever curious about, you know, a random place that you've never been to that's in your bucket list, go and greet her and make sure like if we do have someone there, you know, because you might be surprised we do, maybe we do. And we also host events and meetups in different cities, Debbie. So please, like, if anybody is resonating with this, they don't have a trip upcoming, you can still join as a traveler. You can create a profile so you can stay updated. If
Okay.
like, I do run events in San Francisco sometimes where I'm based. So Debbie will always be welcome to come. And it's been really exciting to see the demographics of travelers that are using GreetHer because frankly, when I began GreetHer, you know, I was like, it's gonna be obviously millennials, you know, like I'm a millennial, and I was like, it's gonna be. And then what happened was we started getting press features in, you know, in different outlets, and then newspapers and news and TV shows and news outlet. And when the women who were watching these were not on social media per se right away, so they started finding us, and it's been really exciting to see that a lot of them are like, we needed something like this. And this was what I was looking for me to take the step and begin traveling. solo.
Well, and it's great. And like you said, you've got a lot of accolades already, and it's growing, and it was an untapped market. Because there's tour groups that go places for
Yeah.
solos, but to actually go and know that you're safe with somebody when you first get there, like we just talked about, I think that's really got a huge value. So well, our time is up already, and this has been a wonderful conversation. And I've enjoyed it so much, and thank you for coming today. And for anybody who's watching, we will put up information at the end of how to get on the website and look at the services. So thank you so much, Vanessa. I really appreciate your time.
Thank you so much, Debbie. I really appreciate it. And I look forward to receiving you and the other travelers. And we have a special promotion for them as well. I'm sure you'll put it somewhere around here.
Yep.
So please reach out if you have any questions about how we work, or if you're a woman in travel and you just want to connect.
All right. Well, thank you so
Thank you.
much. Well, welcome back to Senior Travel Adventures. I'm super excited today because with me is Bunny Carpenter, and I'm sure most of you know her. And she has just returned from a 4.5-month world cruise on Viking, and it looks amazing. So Bunny, thank you for joining me today and sharing this adventure with all of us. That's quite a long time to be gone from home.
Yes, it is, but it was enjoyable every bit of the way.
So we're going to show some pictures to the audience and share Bunny's adventures. So look at that, how beautiful that is.
There was a lot of snorkeling also.
Okay, good.
So they were doing both.
All right. Wow, who's that? That guy.
Well, these are the whales in Cabo San Lucas.
Okay, so we're back to Mexico now. We took a detour back.
Right. So one of the things that Viking, they just do really well in planning all of these trips. So we were able to get in Cabo during the migration season.
Oh, wow, okay.
And that's why we were able to see these huge animals. I guess they're not mammals.
Mammals. Right.
Jumping in the air, flipping back. To me, I love whale watching. I've done it a lot in my life.
And we're very fortunate that in where we are here that we can actually go very close and whale watch if we need to or want to. And I've been unfortunate. On 2 of my trips, I have not seen the whales. So I have to enjoy yours.
Oh, yes. Well, there were some people that actually got in a small boat and was able to get up a lot closer.
Okay.
And I'm not water friendly, so I got on the catamaran where I knew I wasn't going to fall in the water.
Right, right. That's okay. It's okay. Wow, that's just amazing. Oh, and then you went to, now we're going back, and now we're in Singapore.
Singapore.
Wow.
I was really surprised at Singapore. I did not expect it to be such an extraordinary, beautiful, city. And it's so modern.
Yes.
And this is Marina Bay Sands, and this is the water park that's there. So there's you go here and you see the water during the day. You'll see the 3 towers.
Oh yeah, that's been in the movies. That is crazy up there. That scares me.
You know that they have an infinity pool at the top.
Oh my gosh.
And I looked for all kinds of pictures to see and it actually looks like you could roll off the top when you go swimming in there. But they have restaurants up there, and I did look up the history of it. There's no place where you could stay, but they have everything you need. They have a mall, they have
so that it's not a hotel or anything.
No, your hotel is the Marina Bay Sands, which is below.
Okay.
That's in that Marina Bay Park.
Okay, all right. Yeah, I see the Louis Vuitton symbol there, so yes, I see the shopping. And Singapore is known for its shopping, so look at that. That skyline's beautiful.
Oh, it is one of the most beautiful places as far as cities that we went to.
Oh, and there's the famous Raffles Hotel. I understand you had a drink there, right?
Absolutely. This is where the Singapore sling was born.
Right. All right. Now we're in India, the Taj Mahal. That's a very famous landmark.
It's a love story. I don't know if everyone knows the love story, but it's actually a symbol of love.
Was it made for somebody?
It was made specifically for someone, for this Shah's wife.
Okay.
Okay, as a symbol of his love. It's just amazing, everything that went into the building and the construction of this.
Right.
This is a
look at
shot.
that.
You know, we really couldn't get inside. Okay. Just a little bit, you know, and so, but I wanted everybody to be able to see
The
design. The stonework was just fabulous. But
you feel that the whole essence of what it meant, you know, and,
right.
and what it took. I felt that way when I went to the Vatican, and you know, and stood in St. Paul's Cathedral with all the work and realized that families had actually done the stonework over 120 years, that it was started by one person and it was carried through until completion by family members. And I'm assuming in this it's the same type of thing. And the workmanship in some of these places is amazing. It's amazing that people have the workmanship and the know-how to do this, especially as old as these buildings are. So, wow.
So this is Gandhi's tomb.
Okay.
And actually this site is in Delhi, in Africa. And so he had a lot of influence on civil rights, especially for his people. And then he also,
That's beautiful.
yeah, he influenced the civil rights here. But he was a spiritual leader and wanted harmony and nonviolence. And he preached that. So he was, you know, like a god to them.
Right.
And this is just only a little bit of the property. That property is huge.
Well, and I'm assuming that those flowers are changed regularly to keep them always fresh. I mean, look how beautiful and bright they are.
Yeah.
And I noticed the walls. Is there writing on the walls or not?
No, there's no writing
it
on
looked like
these walls.
Okay.
When you take the path to go to the site, then there's lots
Like
of
some of what he said?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, there's plaques. There's
Yeah.
you know the writings of the things
His
that he had said.
his philosophies and things. That's
Right.
really cool. All right, where do we go? Oh, now we're in Indonesia. I recognize that.
Indonesia. This is the famous swing. This is the first time I have ever seen anything like it.
And you went on it, right?
No,
Oh.
I watched.
Oh, you watched.
All
okay.
my friends went on it. You can see with the woman there with the cape.
Oh, my favorite, penguins. Anybody who watches my show, this will be like the next. I often show penguins because I love them so. So that's so cute.
Well, this is Phillip Island, and this is quite a show. Okay, so these little creatures, they are about a foot, and no more than a pound. And they come off the shore every single night, and they end up going to their, here they are, and they go to their little burrows.
Okay.
And then the next morning they go out to sea. They go out and they're looking for food, and then they come back and bring it back. So
So they live in the dry land in the sand.
Yes.
See,
Yes.
I don't think a lot of people think of penguins just always as aquatic and never really, they might come on land but not stay on land. So that's amazing to learn that they actually do spend the night on land.
Yeah. You can see it's
Yeah.
and this happens every single day.
Oh, yeah.
And,
this is their routine, their habit.
Yep, and it was cold.
Oh, look at
He's-
how cute, how cute.
They were just, we had platforms when you go into the park there. They have platforms, so that when you walk along the platforms, you can actually see all the bunches of them going into their homes.
I know that was just a few of the great pictures that you took, Bunny, and I really appreciate you coming and talking about that. It was an experience of a lifetime, right? Where's your next adventure might be?
Well, I have to really think about that.
Okay.
You know, when I came back, I realized I was gone for so long. I need to go out and see family or friends, and I have, you know, friends all over the United States. We're going to take each day at a time.
Hey, you know what? Life is an adventure, and that's why the show is called Senior Travel Adventures, because I'm here to encourage people to go and do whatever. And I don't disclose people's ages, but you know, life is too short, and you're never too old. So we'll be right back.
Did you know plans change each year? So can your health and prescription needs. Our licensed insurance agents can easily compare your options, and you'll see the real difference. Find a plan that offers you more and covers your prescriptions. Call us at 1-888-225-6468 for a free telephonic, virtual, or in-person appointment. Annual election period ends December 7th.
Thank you so much for joining me today on Senior Travel Adventures. It is such fun to do this show. And if you have a trip that you'd like to share with us, please be sure to send it to me. The email will be up on your screen, and maybe we'll see you on the show. So have a great day.